Hello friends! So today, wait, I need to start saying Today I want to talk to you about my root canal experience because it's the worst thing that's ever happened to me. If you have come to this video for reassurance for an upcoming root canal, then go away. This is not the video for you. Because I had an atypical experience and it is one of the worst things that's ever happened to me. So yeah, let's just begin. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I hadn't been to the dentist for a while. I went back in England and they didn't do any x-rays, otherwise they probably would have found the problem. And then I went again when we were in Minnesota and they just had a quick look around and went, yeah, all good. And then I went again because I felt like something was wrong. And they did some x-rays and they say, oh, you got a pretty bad cavity that you can't see, because it was between two teeth, two of the molars. And he was trying to look at it with his little torch and he's like, no, there's no way, I can't see that. So yeah, I had this huge ass cavity and he's like, I can't tell because I can't see it, but you may need a root canal. You probably are going to need a root canal. So I'm like, oh, whatever. Cool. I've had a lot of dental problems, so I'm kind of used to it. Had a lot of teeth removed. I've had braces for pretty much my whole teenage life. Actually, yeah, my whole teenage life. I wasn't too worried. I was a little stressed because I know that root canals aren't pleasant. But yeah, he set my appointment and I don't exactly know what he did. He drilled in and then filled it and he says, yep, you're gonna need a root canal. I've started it, but we need to finish it next week. He was doing it in like 2 halves or something. I don't know why. I think he was just busy, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, he did my half a root canal. I'm like, hey, that was easy. Nothing to worry about. And then I came back the following week for the rest of my root canal. And it took a long time. He did the first anaesthetic injection and I got like a sharp pain that went all the way from the gum right to the back of my mouth. And I just was like, ah! And the guy looked surprised and he said, did that hurt? And I was like, yeah, that really hurt. And he was like, that was the one that wasn't supposed to hurt. So I was like, well, it did. What can I say? I have a low pain tolerance. And then he did the other one, which was in the roof of my mouth, and that one didn't really hurt. It's like, you got those two mixed up because that's the one that was supposed to hurt. That should have been my first red flag that something wasn't quite right, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so he starts doing the root canal and they have this little like triangular drill thing and it goes zoop, 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 zoop inside the canal. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really know what he was doing because I didn't want to look it up because I didn't want to freak myself out. He was going zoop, 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 zoop all up the canal and cleaning it out and then up the other one, zoop, 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 zoop. And after sitting there for about 40 minutes, my anaesthetic starts to wear off. And he's like, oh, well, I'm nearly done. So we can either do some more anaesthetic or we can just power through and get it over with. And I was like, yeah, just do that. Just finish it. I'll be fine. I'd be a big brave girl. So he continues. And let me tell you, it's not very fun having dental work when your feeling is coming back. By the end of it, I was just like, ah. It's like, you said you were nearly done. So yeah, he finishes up. And I'm like, ready to run out of the dentist office because I'm so done with the whole thing. We get out and I go sit in the car and it hurts bad and all my feeling is back and I'm just sat there like, And I think I cried all the way home. Then we got home and I had an ice lolly, popsicle, whatever you want to call it. I know, it's just, I was done. I fell asleep, I think. Then I woke up and it hurt so bad. From what I can remember, I did the whole next day. I didn't go back to work because I was in too much pain. And I cried the whole day because it hurt so bad. And then I went to bed. So that was a whole 24 hours. And then the next morning I wake up and my cheek is like, whoop. If I can find a photo, I will show you right now. I look like a ridiculous chipmunk. And I felt dreadful. I felt horrible. Like, just worn down, in pain, and nauseous. And then the nausea decided that it wasn't just nausea and it's time for you to barf everywhere. The day before, I made myself some pea soup from scratch. And that was all I could really eat, that and pudding. I ate this stupid pea soup. And the next morning, I threw up all the pea soup. It was so green.
No, 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 no.
I can't eat peas anymore. It's done something to me. I've got some kind of pea soup trauma now. It was, yeah, well, that was not the only time I threw up. I threw up, then I made a phone call to the dentist. I was like, hey, I'm all swollen and have just thrown up and it hurts like hell. Please, will you help me? And he's like, yeah, come in now. It was a Saturday, but he was doing emergency appointments, so he's like, yeah, come in. And then I threw up again, and then on the way to the car I threw up again, and at this point it was like neon green. I was not doing good. I have never felt pain like it. It was in my cheek. It was like up to my eye, basically. It was agony all up here. That is the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Like, I've not even ever come close to it. I threw up on the way to the car, on the floor. We got to the dentist office, I went to sign in, and I kind of stood there like, whoa. And I was like, be right back. Ran outside, fell on the floor, threw up on the floor, cried on the floor, went back in, sat down, and I was like shaking and in pain. And I was just sat there like, just waiting for this dentist. Like, I need to see this dentist because something's gone horribly wrong. Yeah, so I'm sat in the waiting room. And this such a nice lady started talking to me. She's like, you're not doing so good, are you? I can tell. She's like, I know what dental pain feels like. And you're in it. And I was like, yeah, yeah, I am. And she said, just get up and walk around a little bit, you'll be okay. And I'm like, I don't think I can stand up. And she's like, no, honestly, just get up and have a little walk around, you'll feel much better. So I got up, walked about 3 steps, and then said, I'm gonna throw up. Someone ran over with a trash can, and I threw up in the trash can. And then someone came over with a wheelchair and put me in the wheelchair and wheeled me through to the dentist. And then I sat on the dentist chair, like shaking and sobbing. It must have been the most pathetic sight ever. I had like no colour in my face. I'd just thrown up in the waiting room. I was sobbing, and I could hear my partner in the hallway with the dentist, and they were just kind of like talking about me. I don't really remember what they were saying. I was barely conscious at that point. And he comes back, does some more x-rays, and says, you know what, it looks good. It looks how it's supposed to look. I think either there is a microscopic problem that we can't see because the canal is so small, or you've had an allergic reaction to the anaesthetic. To this day, I don't really know if I had an allergic reaction or not. Personally, I don't think so. But anyway, I had to go see a specialist. Oh no, before I went to see the specialist, this wonderful doctor, he prescribed me some new antibiotics for the infection and some Vicodin, and that was my first ever time having Vicodin, and let me just say, that stuff's pretty great. It's pretty great. One time I took 2 Vicodins a little bit too close together. Yeah, felt pretty good, just being honest, lads. So yeah, we rode a Vicodin high for a few days until it started to go down. It took about a week for the swelling to go down. I looked like a stupid chipmunk for far too long. Anyway, I ended up going to a specialist. And they said that basically what he said, it was so small that he couldn't quite do it properly. And one of the canals had been done slightly too shallow. Which I don't know why that's such a big problem, but yeah, there was a little bit missing. So she had to make an incision at the top of the gum and scrape all the mess out. So I had like a little hole up here, and that freaked me out a little bit. It took about 2 minutes. Did a boop boop, a couple of anesthetics. In she goes with a little tool. Didn't really feel anything. She cleaned it all out. Hurt for a couple of hours, but then felt better. And yeah, that is my root canal experience. Honestly, I think it traumatized me. I have never experienced anything like that, and I hope that I never do again. If anyone ever tells me you have to have a root canal again, I will have that tooth removed. I am terrified to go to the dentist. I am constantly worried that something is going to turn into something that is painful. Yeah, I think that I have like some deep-rooted issues from this. It was just a really bad experience. I don't think this is the norm. I'm pretty sure that with root canals, yeah, it's not pleasant. And yeah, for most people it does hurt for a little bit, but you take your regular painkillers and you take your antibiotics and you're fine. But not me, no, I have to be special. Anyway, yeah, that's my root canal story. Like, genuinely, 0 out of 10 would not recommend. So yeah, if you have a similar experience, let me know. I'd love to have someone say, yeah, me too. Anyway, if you're going through something similar, then get yourself some, what do you call them here? I think you call them popsicles here, but that sounds so stupid to me. Get yourself some of those little ice buddies. Ice buddies? Yeah, they help. They help a lot. Take all your painkillers, get yourself an ice lolly, yum yum yum, you'll be fine. I hope you're not too traumatized like I am. Anyway, that's my story for you guys. I don't think I missed anything. It was just not very fun. Okay, that's it. It's hot in the car. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Love you guys. Bye.